Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of everybody present here today and those watching from home, and on behalf of the people of Limburg, it's our great honor to meet you here. Welcome to the Government House of Limburg, the southernmost province of the Netherlands. The southernmost province, which also has most in common with your country, with Italy. For example, we share a particular past, culture, and Catholic background. A past that can be clearly seen in, around, and between the two cities you will be visiting today, Maastricht and Heerlen, both founded 2,000 years ago by the Romans, the Italians of their day. And in terms of culture, the inhabitants of Limburg very much recognize themselves in the so-called slow movement that was born in Italy. A movement that is all about good and honest food, about il tempo giusto, but above all, about each other and the human dimension. It is no coincidence that half of the Dutch city-slow municipalities are here in Limburg. And as for your Catholic backgrounds, yes, the Netherlands is known as a Calvinist country. But here in the south, we have in fact been shaped and molded by the rich tradition of Roman Catholicism. That is maybe why the rest of the country looks at Limburg as their own little Tuscany, where people also come to take a break and get a taste of that better life. But in addition to our past, culture, and religious background, we also share an ambition. After all, we are both keen to build the Einstein telescope in our soil. The soil we used to dig in for coal to heat our country. Many Italians came to help us with the mining. And until around a half century ago, when demand for this black gold waned. It took Limburg a lot of effort to get over that mine closure. It brought us unemployment, poverty, and social disruption. But we managed to pick ourselves up. When the advent of our own university, we now mine knowledge instead of coal. And we now have 4 campuses, together called the Brightlands. 4 campuses spread around the province, each with its own focus on health food, sustainable materials, or smart data, but all 4 also reinforcing each other. To seek and find answers to the challenges facing the world today and in the future. And yes, like Italy, we want to use the Einstein telescope to help unlock the mysteries of the universe. But in addition to our past, culture, religious background, and ambition, we of course share above all significant European heritage with 2 key European treaties. Italy, with the Treaty of Rome, signed 65 years ago at a time when Europe was still recovering from 2 world wars. And when we wanted to stand stronger together against that power bloc on the other side of the Iron Curtain. And Limburg, with the Maastricht Treaty, signed 30 years ago, at a time when the world appeared to be relaxing after the fall of the Berlin Wall and the disappearance of that curtain. A time of freedom and prosperity. Today, we live in a different reality. The climate summit in Egypt shows that we need to stand united in order to provide a future for younger generations worldwide. And I add, with all my heart, that it should not matter where your cradle was in order to have a shot at a good life. And you should never have to abandon your roots, your home, and your family to find it. Ladies and gentlemen, that necessary connection, nationally, European, and globally, demands that we maintain a dialogue, really listening to each other's opinions, to someone from a different generation, and yes, also listening to a true statesman today. A true statesman in the tradition described by the American James Freeman in the 19th century. One who thinks beyond elections, about the next generations, and who does not put the success of his party first, but cares most for the success of his country. Without a doubt, Mr. President Mattarella, this applies to you. You who shouldered the responsibility of remaining president because our current times and your country needed you to do so, and who asked specifically to meet the younger generation here today. Both they and I look forward to listening to you. Also because it is the greatest of honors to us that we wanted to meet you here in Limburg today. Signor Presidente, è con grande piacere.
Mr. President, I am ever so delighted to hand over the floor to you.